my strategy was gallery walk and talk. There are several steps to this strategy. The first one is to select text or pictures. You have to group them into manageable chunks that can be accomplished in just a couple minutes, because you don't want the gallery walk to last too long, otherwise the students will get bored. And then you're going to assign your groups. So usually you do groups of 2 or 3 is more manageable. Next, you have to provide sentence stems for them. So while they're looking at the text or the picture, then they have something to go off of so that they can fill out the sentence stems. And then you actually do the gallery walk. It's usually just a couple minutes for each station or each spot. And then you come together as a whole class afterwards to discuss what you learned. So for my example, I just quickly did a Charlotte's Web one. So I decided to do quotes from Charlotte's Web. So I would post these quotes in each corner of the room, each wall, wherever. You can even put it on like a table and have like a station, more station type. And then the things that are not in bold, those are the sentence stems. So I think blank is smarter than blank because blank. So it says right here, if I can fool a bug, I can surely fool a man. People are not as smart as bugs. So they basically just fill that out. And then I provided 2 for some of them, just to show you the different ways you do it. So yeah, you set a timer, and each group goes to a quote, and they write it down in their reading journal or just on a sheet of paper or wherever you want them to write it. And then you come back as a whole class and you discuss. So you go through each one and you say, all right, group 1, what did you say about the first quote? And just a class discussion. The benefits of this is it promotes listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You have to listen during the discussion. And maybe while they're going around, they may be discussing as they're writing. Speaking, obviously, they're talking with their partners or in the whole class discussion. Reading, they have to go through and read each sentence stem, or if you put a text up, they have to read that. And then the last one, writing, they have to actually write their sentence stem. So it really includes all 4 of these. So I chose reading for mine, but I wanted to show that you could use it in every subject. So for math, you could post problems up along the walls, and you could do a gallery walk with them and then have them say, like, explain why they did a certain problem like that. For science, you could do pictures or vocabulary words. Social studies, I think, this would be very beneficial because you could use maps, you could use pictures, you could show like the effects of something, like you could show a city before war and after war, and you could really get them deep into the Bloom's taxonomy with that. For reading, you could do quotes like I did for the Charlotte's Web. You could also do pictures, like if they can't visualize the scene in a book, you could just post a picture and then they could say, this scene is blank, and I know this because blank. So that would be an example. Or for the upper levels, you could do full-on paragraphs and just do the same thing with the quotes, give them sentence stems still. And then art, it's a gallery walk, so do it just like a gallery walk. Have them say how the art makes them feel, or what they notice, really anything. Some adaptations or modifications that I came up with was you could use different reading material, so you could have like an easier section next to the more difficult text for certain students to read, just so they don't feel left out if they can't fully comprehend the text. You could also have easier sentence stems with that easier text. You could do partner. You could give them a partner that they work well with and really give them the freedom to discuss while they're walking around. You could also give them less stops, so maybe they need more time at each individual stop, so instead of completing all 4 of the quotes, they're only going to get to 2 because they were thinking about it longer. And then the last one was visuals. You could use more visuals, like a picture to go along with the text and not just the text. So So yeah, that is what is in a gallery walk and talk.